All right, welcome to another episode of Johnny Cycles with Johnny here. As you just saw there, I am on my second day of my road trip. We're going from Chiayi to Alishan today. It's gonna be a bit of a pain of a ride. Going quite high today. The elevation in Alishan, where the road stops at least, is 2,200 meters, so not exactly easy. Alright, so here down at the pictures I'm showing, those are just a few from the top of the building where we were staying at our Airbnb. Alright, this is the day I parted ways with Jake and Alex. They went on to do their Round the Island tour, and my tour is a little different. So the video is also me just trying to find some food. I mean, when you cycle, you need a lot of food. So I went to the first place, asked the lady, "Hey, you guys gonna be open soon? You gonna have some food?" And she was like, "No, dude, it's gonna be till," I think it was like another hour or something. I didn't want to wait that. So on I go. Didn't have to go too far though. As you can see here, found a breakfast place. It's called Mei Mei. They're all over Taiwan. It's just a common breakfast chains. So come in, have some food. Gonna have some noodles and some danbing. Danbing is amazing. I highly recommend anyone going to Taiwan to get some danbing. They translate into English as a egg pancake. It is nothing like a pancake. It is, however, with egg. Basically, it's an egg. You use an egg to roll up with some breading, and you can put pretty much anything on the inside. Typically, some kind of meat and vegetables. Very delicious. So yeah, there we are, packing our stuff up, saying goodbye, parting ways. Getting all our bikes loaded. Their bikes are a lot more loaded than mine. They're carrying way more stuff. I really just have clothes in that back compartment. Front compartment's got a bunch of different foods, primarily workout supplements. And then my middle one, I had my tools and my batteries in it. Basically put the most heavy things possible. Want to keep a good center of balance. So here I am now, biking along. You can see the mountains in the distance there that I'm heading towards. This area is mostly Aboriginals living in the area, not so many Han Chinese. Beautiful, beautiful area, beautiful. And yeah, we'll just watch this for a minute. So also at this point, I'm just kind of taking it light. I know that this is about to be a very, very abusive hard day. I don't think I've ever climbed a mountain this tall on a bicycle. I've hiked taller, but I have never done this on a bicycle. This was a first for me. A lot of first here, which is the video editing, the biking. I just decided to go out at full force. So here you are. This is an Aboriginal little village. Decided to come through. Yet another area of Aboriginal villages. Decided to make a little pit stop over here. Get a little coffee. And water. I was actually a little surprised. This is day 2 of Chinese New Year, the first official day. We had the day before off as well. A lot of jobs gave the day off before. Not everyone, but I'm teaching English, so they let me off. All the schools, at least. Alright, time to fast forward a little of this. Zoom, 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 zoom. Let's get to the good parts. Alright, now we're getting closer to the mountains. I'm not really in the mountains yet, but I'm right there at the foothills of them. Really lucky on the traffic. Just so surprised that there's not more people out. And you gotta smile while you're riding. If you're not enjoying it, why are you riding? So yeah, that's me having a good day. Loving the experience. And at this point, I am riding in the mountain. This is just at the beginning of it. But I met another cyclist. I believe at this point he's actually riding beside me. His name is Alex. He is from Germany. Oh, this is Xiaomi. Xiaomi in English, they translate it as like millet. It is delicious. It makes a delicious alcohol called Xiaomijiu, and it also makes a lot of different delicious foods that the Aboriginals make. I absolutely love Aboriginal foods. Love it much better than the traditional Chinese foods. My personal favorite of the Aboriginal foods would have to be sanzuro, which is, they would translate it as mountain pig. It's really, I guess, kind of like a boar. But here we are, going through the mountains. Got my friend Alex with me at this point. I just randomly met Alex. It was kind of funny. I had stopped in a little area just at the foothills before the climbs really got started. I stopped there, had me a coffee, walked around, looked at some temples, went to the bathroom, and once I was getting back over to my bicycle, lo and behold, here comes this other bicyclist, this German guy, and he joined me. We just started talking, and we were like, well, let's ride together. We're going to the same place. Got to get some good fruits here. Fruits along the way. Yep, this is the area that I ran into him. Just past this bridge here. It's a nice temple. Stopped at a 7-Eleven or Family Mart. Taiwan is full of convenience stores. If you are cycling in Taiwan, let me let you know that you do not need to bring food with you. You do not. There are convenience stores everywhere. There's a police scooter. Plenty of those here. That's the main vehicle of the police. I would guess there's more police scooters than there are police cars. Coffee before the ride gets hard. Gotta get that caffeine. And just a beautiful day. Oh yeah, there you go. Ascension remaining 1,666 meters. Basically, get ready for abuse. And it was abuse. Beautiful, beautiful scenery, but abuse. I use my Garmin. You really don't even need it here. A lot of the roads are pretty well laid out for you, and if you're doing these mountain routes, most of the time there's only one road. There might be little side roads here and there that you could potentially take, but most of your best routes are going to be the main road going through it, and it's going to be super obvious. Even if you don't speak Chinese, can't read Chinese, it doesn't matter. You just stay on this one road. The other guy, he has no Chinese. He's been doing, I think he said he had been there for 3 weeks doing a trip, and he had another week or 2 left. So he did just fine without it. So don't be afraid of the language barrier. Just go for it. The Taiwanese people are super friendly. They will help you out. They're very kind. Ah, here's my buddy Alex. Alex swerving, driving, swerving, driving. There was actually a lot of time I did not film before this. My Garmin told me to take a short route, which is where I was kind of why I was mentioning you can stay on the main road, because although the Garmin took us the shorter route and we saved, I don't know, probably 5-6 kilometers, it was hell of harder. Oh my god, it got steep there. Resisted walking, but oh wow, oh, it hurt. It hurt. There was some really abusive climbs. On the main road, not as bad. I mean, it was still all climbing. It was still hard, don't get me wrong. It was not easy by any means, but the side route that the Garmin took us was by far the hardest part of the day. So lesson learned, don't always follow the GPS. Oh, such beautiful views, just everywhere that you looked. Yep, that's my tired face. That's getting abused by the Garmin side route right there. Another note, I believe all these trees here in the film, those are betel nut. Betel nut is this weird green nut thing that they eat inside of a leaf, and they just kind of chew on it. And it's kind of like the Western equivalent of chewing tobacco, except this is supposed to give you more of a hyper feel, like a caffeine high. I've tried it a few times. Personally, does nothing for me. I've lived in Taiwan for 4 years, and I've tried it, I don't know, 3-4 times. Does nothing for me. I don't like it. But a lot of the old Taiwanese love it. Causes really bad mouth cancer. Also causes throat cancer. I do not recommend making a habit of it, but it is something interesting and cultural from here. Alright, coming across one of the few waterfalls. Not really much of a waterfall right now. We haven't had any rain here in South Taiwan for months now. And actually the day after this ride, at night it started raining, and we got a good hard rain after that. It was great, knocked all the pollution right out of the air. And there's our little baby waterfall there, getting the road nice and wet for us. Also can note that once again, This guy has way more gear than I do. Alex is on a 4-week trip around Taiwan, so I'm only doing 7 days with 1 day of rest in between. So I'm packed much lighter. A lot of my rides I was trying to go fast. This day I was just trying to make it. There was no such thing as trying to go fast this day. He is one strong dude. He told me he plays soccer in Germany, so I think that's where he gets most of his endurance, but I have been following him on Strava and seeing he does plenty of riding as well, and running. So just an overall athlete. Good guy to have to ride with. Gave me a little extra motivation to keep up. Keep up and make it to Alishan before dark. That was the key. Oh, I really wish this camera could pick up those mountains there in the background. They are huge mountains on every side of us. The mountain we're on is huge, but that's what happens when you have an action camera that's from Shopee and not an actual GoPro. But hey, we all got to start somewhere. So just want to add that this is my second video ever to edit, so I understand it's not the best, but got to start somewhere, and I'm just going to try to throw content out every week and learn as I go. Hopefully after a few months it'll be more professional looking, but right now this is what you get. Big smudge in the middle of my camera that drove me nuts. I didn't even know it until actually at the end of this day, when I put all my data into my phone off the SD card, and then I started watching them, and I was like, no! I tried really hard to clean the case, and it was not coming off, whatever it is. It's just one little tiny dot on the casing. But should be able to find a new case in Taiwan, no problem. They have plenty of electronic stores here. Here we are, just riding through the countryside, enjoying the views. So we have a lot of time here, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about bike packing or bike touring. I personally am more interested in the bike touring side. I like the concept of having a nice bed and a shower at the end of a hard day. So I'm a little biased there, but both are very valid. My friend here, Alex, he's doing the bike packing thing. That's why he's got way more gear. See those red peppers there? It's one of the few things where I live that the monkeys won't eat. If you put peppers outside, they will actually leave them alone. Everything else, the monkeys will eat it. You put tomatoes, monkeys eat them. You put, well, even non-spicy peppers, the monkeys will eat them. So anyways, about bike packing, if I was to give anybody any advice on it, it is, number one, travel light. Just don't carry anything that you don't need. If you don't absolutely need it and you don't know for sure you're going to use it on your trip, don't bring it. Just don't. That being said, make sure you do have all your essentials. Be sure to have some tools, basic tools to repair your bikes. You know, you don't have to have every tool for a bicycle repair. There are some issues with a bike that if it happens, it's a freak accident, and you know, you're going to have to try to find a bike shop. Maybe you lose a day of your riding. It just is what it is. Don't feel like you need to burden yourself with every single tool for repairs. But have you a basic wrench, have you of course have extra tubes. Always have 2 tubes in case you're running over something that gives you a double flat. Always have that bike pump on you. Just be ready for all the basic common issues that you're going to have. This is our halfway point. As you can see there, we had us a nice meal. My buddy Alex, he didn't know that in Taiwan it's actually cheaper to eat at the restaurants than 7-Eleven. He had, I guess, gone to a more expensive restaurant towards the beginning of his journey, and he thought that it was much cheaper at 7-Eleven. I was like, no man, you got to be able to read the menu a little bit and know what kind of restaurants to look for, because the mom and pop places here are insanely cheap. I think that meal that we just had there cost like maybe $2.50 American, and as you saw there, it had fish, it had rice. It was delicious. Had a couple veggies on it. You can find that all over the island. Taiwan is great as far as being able to eat out all the time. It's actually extremely common here for houses not to have a kitchen at all. My house has a kitchen. I like to cook. I like to eat at home. But I've had plenty of friends go without a kitchen here, and they live just fine. More of those beautiful Taiwan views. Happy face Alex, having a good time. So, another thing with the bike packing, if you're bike packing, bike touring, if you're worried about getting started and you just feel intimidated about it, one advice that I've seen on several forums, and it sounds a little silly, but I think it makes sense, is a lot of people say to pack your bike with everything you think you would need. Look up the campground that's in a decent radius to you, that's, you know, something that's not 2 days ride away, something that's, even if it's an hour away or 20 minutes away or 2 hours away, find that campground, pack your bike with everything, plan on spending 2 days there, 2 nights there that is, and ride your bike the day between. See how your body feels, see what gear that you use, and see what gear that you don't use. Whatever you find that you're using is what you're going to need to bring on your trip, and what you don't use, then shed that weight, man. Shed the weight. More weight is more of a challenge. It's going slower. It's wearing those legs out. It's wearing your heart out. I can't emphasize enough, pack light. I got lucky. My girlfriend met me in Taichung, and so on day 3 I took some of the things out I didn't need. I changed around my setup because this is my first bikepacking trip as well. I went into it a bit of all in. I just went sink or swim. Not entirely though, because once again this is Taiwan. It's very well developed. At the end of the day, if things went bad and I needed to, I could get a taxi, I could get to a train, and I could go home. That was an option. Preferably not, but I had that safety net. So if you're intimidated about doing your bike touring, bike packing, I would advise to listen to what all these forums said and just go somewhere nearby and camp for 2 days. Ride in between, go enjoy yourself. Don't take it too serious. And yeah, don't be afraid to ride. Just do it. The best thing you can do is just keep spinning and try. And if you fail, who cares? At least you tried. Oh, I love Taiwan. Look at those views. And there's me. Found a Camaro here, which is extremely rare in Taiwan. You do not see many of those. They actually have quite a bit of the Mustangs, but not many Camaros. Very rare car for here. And on top of that, this one is a Bumblebee Camaro. So I had to take a picture of Bumblebee real quick. And off we go again. But then Alex was like, nah, I want to take a picture of Bumblebee too. Everyone likes a good Bumblebee. Also, it had a German plate under the Taiwanese plate, so he was loving that. He was kind of hoping that he would find some other Germans. Turned out they were just Taiwanese, wanted a German plate for whatever reason. So here we go, off again, up the mountain. This packed, I am back to my smiley self. Had a little break back there, ate a snack, drank some water, took some pictures, and the incline here isn't as bad. I want to say at this point we're working with like 3 to 6% inclines on most of this section. It really varied a lot. I think some of our bigger inclines were hitting 15%, and that was just insanely abusive. But right here it wasn't so bad. You can see we're picking up speed a little bit. I mean, I got the camera on accelerate, but I think you can tell that we are actually picking up speed as well. I think my day average was 12 kilometers an hour according to Strava, which sounds really slow, but when it's all uphill for close to, well, around 60 something kilometers, that's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm quite happy with it, considering I bought my bicycle 3 months before this trip. And yeah, just some background on that. I bought the bicycle 3 months before this trip. I rode a lot in the US. Never did any bike touring in America. I just rode to stay in shape, and I really loved it. I biked all the time in the US. Moved to Taiwan 4 years ago. Did not bring my bicycle. Only had a limited amount of luggage space, so what I did choose to bring is my scuba diving gear, and I didn't use it that much. It's so cheap to rent gear, and I drive a scooter here in Taiwan. So most of the time it's more of a pain to bring the gear with me than it is to just pay the fee and rent the gear. Because in Taiwan, renting for scuba diving is quite the pain. They want to dive with you, so you have to pay the dive instructor as well, or most dive shops will not rent you scuba tanks despite you having all their certificates, despite you having all your gear. They just won't do it. They want that money. And it's quite frustrating when you're used to diving in the US, you're used to diving in the Caribbean, you're used to diving in Europe, where those areas, no problem. You go there, you got all your gear, you got your certificates. I'd usually go with a buddy, and they'd see you and your buddy, and if everything's in line, they rent you the gear, you sign the waivers, you're good to go. But in Taiwan, even when you have somebody who's a dive master and a buddy with you, they still do not want to rent the gear without one of them going with you. So it is what it is. I should have brought my bicycle. And yeah, so then the next 4 years after that, I did not bicycle. The pollution here is really horrible in the wintertime. Really, really horrible. Especially I live in Kaohsiung. So I got fat. I drank a bunch of beer, went to parties, had fun, had a good time. I ate plenty of Taiwanese food. Absolutely love their food. Highly recommend it. But that lifestyle will make you fat if you're just sitting around. So I just got tired of it, and 3 months ago I bought this bicycle, and since then I've lost over 10 kilos. It's hard for me to give you an accurate exact number. I am 195 centimeters tall, so I can fluctuate 1 kilo, 2 kilos a day, no problem, just based on how much I poop and eat. And yeah, I feel way better now. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm going to keep losing weight. My aim is to lose 10 more and be in racing shape like I was when I left the US. Fast forward time. Let's zoom it. And now we're just zooming along through the beautiful forest. And as you can see there, to the right of us, for the most part, is just cliff drop and mountains. Also a bit more traffic now, as you can see from all the cars. It's not terrible. Still a pretty relaxed day. I think that was me grabbing a snack. Like I said, that front pouch. Oh no, that's one of my BCAA pills. That's what that was. But my entire front pouch there is filled with workout supplements. BCAA is apparently the best friend of cyclists. It's branched chain amino acids, and it's supposed to help you with not burning so much fat, not burning so much muscle while you're burning your fat. So when I'm on my bike touring, I brought a pill form of it. And at my house, I have a powdered form. But anytime I do a big ride, I bring out a bottle of BCAA in it. Gotta keep that muscle while burning that fat at the same time. I also got protein powder in my bag there. I have a little Ziploc bag for each day. I had already set out a scoop for. I got a few different bicyclist snacks that are more on the go grabbing. A few just oat style cereal bars. And I also have beet juice shots that is high in nitrates. And I also have, what is it? Science in Sports. I brought the Rico, which is you take in the morning and in the afternoon after you have done your activities and before you've done your activities. Supposedly helps with recovery. And I also have some of the Science in Sports, or SIS, their isotonic energy gels. Watched a lot of reviews on it, and I would agree with what the majority of those said, which is pretty much you take those if you want a quick energy boost. They dissolve into your system quickly. I would say, as a cyclist, it's about maybe 5-10 minutes, and it starts hitting your system, and you can feel a bit of an energy boost. Versus usually eating food, it's more like about 30 minutes to an hour for your body to digest enough to you actually feel that increase of energy. But here we go again, going through more tunnels. Lots of Aboriginal markings there on the left. And another picture stop. It's just so beautiful everywhere we go. Oh, look at that view. Just mountains, mountains, and more mountains. That fog there is a bit of a mix of fog and pollution, sadly. This is the second day of Chinese New Year. It hasn't rained yet, so my pictures and videos later in the week that I will post in the future, those ones you can tell the difference in the air. Once it rains, it just knocks all that pollution out. But this was not a terrible pollution day, relatively. Oh, just truck it along. Up we go through another tunnel. Lots of these little things. Oh, I hate it when those buses go by. Some of them get really ridiculously close to you. Oh, it's a bit nerve-wracking. Try to ride in line whenever we see one of those, but some of them will be going a bit fast. The drivers in them are a little bit crazy. I will say, living in Taiwan for 4 years, most foreigners pretty much say the same, is we love everything about Taiwan. This country is amazing. Highly encourage everyone to come visit it. But if there is two things that the Taiwanese should and could change, it is the driving conditions here are terrifying. It's less so rules or laws, more so suggestions. And you really see it when you live in the city. The red lights, I don't even know if they are actually enforced. I've literally watched people run red lights in front of the police, and the police do nothing. Now, I will say it's quite different if you live in Taipei. Taipei, they actually enforce the rules there. There's a lot more cameras. But everywhere else on the island, it's just it's more or less suggestions. It's, if you were doing the wrong thing and you get in a wreck, it's your fault. If you're doing the wrong thing and nothing happens, no one cares. So that's Taiwan for you. And the other thing that they could fix is the pollution. The pollution is pretty horrible in the winter. There's about 3 or 4 months of really bad pollution in the country. The rest of the year is fine. Summertime is beautiful. Hot, but beautiful. Oh, here we are going through more mountain views. Oh, look at that ahead of us. Just tree-covered mountains everywhere. Also, there are still monkeys up here. I didn't get any shots of them, but I did see a few along the way. I noticed that the monkeys here are a little bit more furry than the monkeys at my home. The exact same species of monkeys. They look the same, other than their fur seems to be a bit longer. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I think we found us a downhill section here. Nice break, although it's not really much of a break and here we go, up again. Every time I went down, I told Alex, I'm like, this is like bittersweet. On the one hand, yes, it's really nice having the break. On the other hand, I just am going, but I spent so much time gaining this. I gained all this elevation just to lose it, and I'm going to have to gain it again. But that's how mountains work. It's not like they're in a straight line. Oh, get it, boy, get it! Oh. Guess that was a steeper climb because it was a pain enough for us to both stand up and just get some. Took a little snack break here. You can see I got my A little bit left in my bag of fruits there. Not many left at that point. Snack break, pee break, enjoy the views, and off we go again. Zoom, zoom. Alex stopped to take some pictures there, and I just kept riding along. Yeah, I think this is the part where it really started wearing down on my legs. I was getting pretty tired, but at least now I'm seeing some signs telling me what's coming up. I know we're getting close to Alishan. Alex starts pulling away. I eventually lose him for a little bit. He's got that soccer stamina, and I still got a bit of that beer belly stamina. Getting better every day, though. Getting better every day. Lost 10 so far. 10 more kilos to go. It is quite foggy the higher up we get towards Alishan. I guess it's kind of a mix of being fog and you're just at such an altitude where you are in the clouds themselves. But keep on trucking along. And Alex just keeps increasing that gap. And I burned all the matches for the day in my legs. There you go. There's that tired John look. Johnny is dead. That's what that face says. But I gotta keep going. We're not at the end yet. Gotta make it to the hotel for the night. And this is all uphill, with plenty of signs warning us, hey, you're going uphill. No, I didn't know that one. No shit, Sherlock. Thank you. If you see that last sign there, it's got the little falling rock slide. It's pretty common in Taiwan to have rock slides, or, well, landslides, or just random falling rocks. I've personally seen a landslide in Taidong, which is on the east coast. I was lucky on that one. I had passed by it on my scooter, and here we go, catching Alex finally, because he stopped over for a while to let me catch up. John, slow and tired. Alex, still going like a trooper. Oh, Johnny tired. Johnny's so tired. But anyways, yeah, I saw the rock slide happen behind me. I had probably been in the place where the rock slide had happened maybe 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes at the most before. And I was on the other side of the mountain from it and taking a picture, and I could just see it happen, and I was like, oh my god, that could have been me. So, dodged a bullet there. Woohoo, luck! But there's areas like Taroko Gorge. Beautiful, beautiful place. Anyone coming to Taiwan, that is my personal favorite place to go on this island. Beautiful marble gorge, stream running through the middle of it, lots of hot springs in the area. But if you go there, You need to wear a helmet when you're walking around. There are random falling rocks. Wear your helmet, save your head, enjoy your views. Well worth it. As they say, YOLO! So here we are really, really close to the end of our journey. I've done this once before on a scooter. So once I saw that gas station, I knew I was almost to the promised land. That is the last gas station. Basically tried to run the video the rest of the time. So here we go, fast forward mode. Fast feed, fast feed. Zoom, 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 zoom. Spin, 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 spin. A lot more traffic in this area at this point because we are getting close to Alishan Park. There's the sign saying Alishan. If you take a right at this turn, you can go to Ushan, which the road part of it is another 600 meters. So it is a even higher mountain. I am planning that on a future trip, not yet, but. And here it is. We made it. That's the spot we wanted all along. The entrance to Alishan Park. Whoa! Whoa, that was a hard day. 12 degrees Celsius. Oh man, it's cold, but it feels so good after getting that workout. They asked us to step to the side because, well, we're on bicycles, not cars. You got to pay to get in. If you're a student, it's 150 NT. That's like $5. If you are not a student, it's 300 NT, which is $10. $10 US, that is. So not a bad price either way. So this nice gentleman here, he's come to collect money from us. He's mostly impressed we made it. Took some pictures for us. Nice guy. Yep, there is me and Alex together. That's our victory pose. Made it, baby. Made it. These pictures were earned. Arrived there at 4:41, so still got some light. Paid the guy, and off I go to find my hotel. Special shout out to my grandmother. My grandma bought me the hotel for the night. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That was my Christmas present. Oh, grandmothers are so sweet. And actually this pink one here is my hotel, but at the point where I'm filming this, I don't know that yet. I'm trying to figure out which one. I know it's one of the ones here in this row. Other people coming in, they still got Christmas lights. Which is funny because here we are at the end of January and still with Christmas stuff. But that's fun. It's Taiwan. They don't really do Christmas as a holiday. It's not a day off here. But it's becoming more of a thing. They started to decorate for it. From what I understood, they used to not get New Year's off either. So here is my hotel. Just basic little bed, small room. But I couldn't be happier to be in it and be finished. Oh, that's a genuine smile there. 59.49 kilometers, 4 hours and 56 minutes of moving in the saddle. Had some delicious hot pot provided by the hotel, and Alex got to join me. They gave me 2 meal vouchers for it, so invited him. He bought me a beer for it, and we had a good time there and walked around a little bit, saw some beautiful stars, no city lights to interrupt them, and passed out early. Had a great day. Alright, thank you for watching, and see you next time. I'll upload the Alishan to Taichung. Peace out. Johnny Cycles.